making the rest of your life the best of your life. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. So my husband and I have been recently talking about how we wanted the next years, these golden years, so to speak, to look. Often people think about growing older as being a negative, but there's a lot of wonderful in the season of, quote, older age or old age. And there can be challenges, there can be difficulties, and I think it's very important to recognize what challenges and difficulties can be ahead so that we can either avoid them or navigate through them successfully. And so I think that just because we are older doesn't mean the best of life is behind us. I think the best of life can be in front of us, or it can be equal to the best that has been in our life all along the way. My husband and I looked at the last many years in our marriage and all the different seasons within our marriage that we've experienced and the wonderful that we've experienced. And yes, we've had challenges too all along the way. You get challenges at every age and you get blessings at every age. And so deciding how the best of life will look, there can be circumstances that are out of our control, and those kinds of circumstances you either navigate through, you adapt to, or you change. And you avoid if possible. But if you can't, you do the very best you can to get through those. And yet you don't let those times stop you from your happiness. You create your happiness anyhow. There's always going to be problems. There's always going to be crises. And we can let those stop us from our happiness, stop us from living our best life. They may slow us down, but don't let them stop you from living your best life, even through the storms of life. And so the key to it is we've kind of looked at each season and we pulled out the best parts of each season. And in our season that we're now in, we're implementing all that was wonderful from those seasons into our life today. And it may not look exactly like it did then. It may look different, but it's still basically the same kind of scenarios that made us happy then. What makes us happy now? And often what you did then is no longer something you're interested in that you were interested in before. And maybe you are interested and you just want to go back to it, or you may want to refine it. Nonetheless, every age and every stage should be happy. You should be living your best life to the best of your ability. And that doesn't mean a life without challenges, difficulties, or even crisis. It means you do the very best. I have a friend who has a terminal diagnosis, and he is out every day living his best life. And even with the terminal diagnosis, he is out there giving it his best. Would he prefer to be totally healthy? Yes. Would he prefer not to have an issue? Yes. But he is learning to adapt to it and create his best life, even in the midst of his circumstances. We should not let circumstances determine whether we are going to live our best life or not. And yet so often I see people let circumstances solely determine whether they're going to be happy, whether they're going to pursue their best life or not. And so I believe that we create our best life at every stage and every age. We have to decide what our best life looks like. What do we want out of our life now? It may look very different than it did in the past. Every age and every stage can be wonderful, and we can be happy. I often compare my life back to when my kids were babies and we were living on the beach in a little beach house that we still have to this day. And I would pull my kids in the wagon to the beach, all three of them, in this little wagon over here. Let me show you. Can you see this little red wagon? It's old now, but I keep the little red wagon over there. But at the time it was a new red wagon, and I used to pull all three of them in the little red wagon. And so the thing about it is that was such a magical, wonderful time, and hard to compare anything to that period of my life because it was so magical and so wonderful. And yet, this part of my life can be magical and wonderful the same way that was. It may be for different reasons. It may look different. Like I'm really enjoying my children being adults. I'm loving, getting to be their mentor as they, work their way through life and making their choices and decisions. My husband and I are having wonderful times together. We spend a lot of time just, relaxing and going places and doing things together that maybe we didn't even have time to before. And so, you get to decide what your life looks like, what you want in your life, how you want your life to look. And so take the rest of your life and make it the best of your life. That's not to diminish any season or any time in your past. When I say the best of your life, every season should be the best of our life. And so we don't even really compare seasons because they're all unique. They're all different. And we're all at different stages of life. And don't compare your life to someone else's because, well, your life may look totally, totally different than someone else's life. And you may have different blessings and different challenges. We all get different challenges, we all get different blessings, and it's what we do with them that creates our best life. So get busy today creating your own best life. From my house to yours, I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.